severest outcomes still. So that's good news so far anyway. That if you can get people at least somewhat vaccinated, it's going to reduce your chances of severe illness. But it's still, people don't realize that even though it's not severe illness, missing school, being sick for days, and having the complications sometimes afterwards with the post-COVID syndrome, those are all really worth preventing.
Yeah, for sure. Moving over to another topic, boy, we're going through a lot of it today, and that is the identification of a potential biomarker for SIDS, the sudden infant death syndrome. And I had one of my brother's best friends. I was in my 30s at the time, and he had twins, one of which died of SIDS. And it was absolutely devastating. They were just a few months old, wakes up in the morning, and he goes over to see his kids, and one is dead in the crib. And they didn't know what it's about. Is there any... Well, tell me about medical science and SIDS and advances.
Right. So, there have been really no significant advances in SIDS other than the issue of sleeping position, right? So we seem to show that SIDS, first of all, is when you put your kid to sleep and the nightmare scenario where they never wake up. We don't know why that happens, but we do know that stomach sleeping is associated with a much higher risk of SIDS. A normal baby should kind of cry out when they are sleeping on their tummies and they're uncomfortable, but for some reason some kids don't. What they've noticed in this situation is this biomarker is low in the blood samples of autopsy kids who have died from SIDS. So is that because this number goes down after death, or is it really there lower prior to death? It's a difficult study to interpret because number one, the numbers are super low, and number two is you are doing the blood on one kid while they're alive and another kid after death. So, I don't know that this necessarily proves anything or shows anything other than, this is very interesting, deserves additional research and additional attention. It's not really going to lead at this point to risk factors for SIDS. And we hate to make people think, oh, I can just check this one and now my kid's safe and they can sleep in any position they want.
Yeah. Are there enough kids that perish of SIDS that this has become a priority or even a major investment by the drug companies?
No, I don't see that it's been a major investment. We're talking like 3,000 kids a year that die from SIDS. So it is a relatively small number, but it's horrific enough that there's a lot of interest in figuring this out and trying to solve the problem. Even if it's not, backed by drug companies, there's plenty of children's hospitals and children's training centers that are looking into this type of thing.
Yeah, it's pretty devastating stuff, having seen someone go through with it. Jim, thank you very much. We'll talk again. Dr. Jim Keeney, co-director of the ER at Mission Hospital in Mission Viejo. Coming up, Steve Gregory, a preview of the next Unsolved episode. And, what he's done this week, his field assignments, which are always interesting. And we'll be back with Steve. This is KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
Not just stimulating talent, it's more.
KOST HD2.
Los Angeles,
Everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
a bigger charge. I'm Jennifer Jones-Lee, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. The man who allegedly attacked comedian Dave Chappelle at the Hollywood Bowl has been charged with attempted murder.
The LA County DA's office says Isaiah Lee stabbed his roommate back in December. Prosecutors say the publicity from the Chappelle attack helped police build the attempted murder case. Apparently, Lee's roommate at a transitional housing facility recognized his picture and came forward. The DA's office said Lee's attack on Chappelle is a misdemeanor and was kicked down to the LA City Attorney, but based on the severity of the attack on the roommate, prosecutors say Lee is now facing a felony charge. Lee pleaded not guilty yesterday. He's due back in court next month. Gregory, Kfi News.
News is brought to you by water heaters only. The CDC has put LA County back into a higher risk category for COVID-19. County Health Director Barbara Ferrer says the CDC has moved the county from low risk to medium risk after the 7-day case average jumped from 202 per 100,000 up from 176 from the week before. Ferrer says it's time for everyone to take transmission seriously.
Essentially, under national testing, when people are sick, exposed, and dying, and staying up to date on these services.
Sarah says it says Donald Trump that amended health order could be reinstated for some tighter restrictions on masking indoor dining and gatherings. U.S. Rock Monitor says nearly 60% of California is in extreme drought.
Category scale that measures drought conditions across the state. San Bernardino, Riverside, and Kern counties, as well as all of the Sacramento and San Joaquin valleys and Sierra foothills are in extreme drought. The coastal region, as well as the northern and central Sierra, is in the third highest severe drought category. That covers about 35% of the state. That's 5% more than the moderate drought and abnormal rain category. Kfi Am, California.
The federal correctional investigation into the mayor of Anaheim may have struck a $320 million deal to sell Angel Stadium.
The city council has called for Anaheim Mayor Harry Sidhu to resign. Mayor Pro Tem Trevor O'Neill says what the feds allege is disturbing.
Potential brand violations and involvement from an outside business group, and that there was an expectation of campaign contributions for moving the deal forward.
The feds allege Sidhu was caught on a wire claiming he expected $1 million from the deal. A second federal investigation claims that small business group has been running Anaheim. A lawyer for Sidhu has declined to comment. In Anaheim, Corbin Carson, KFI News.
Health clinics in Oklahoma say they will stop providing abortion when the governor signs a pro-life law. A bill passed by the Oklahoma legislature yesterday would only allow abortions to save the life of a pregnant woman or if the pregnancy is the result of rape or incest reported to police. Governor Kevin Stitt is expected to sign it. Ukrainian President Zelensky has thanked the U.S. for the $40 billion aid package, which was approved by Congress yesterday. Zelensky says Ukraine's monthly budget deficit is $5 billion, so the money is key to keeping up the war effort against Russia. Monkeypox has been found in Massachusetts and might also be in New York. ABC's Tony Salzman says officials say not to panic.
The risk to the general public is very low. It's possible we could see more cases of monkeypox here in the United States.
The CDC says anyone who develops a rash or a rash with blisters should call their doctor. Elon Musk says he did not sexually harass a flight attendant on a private jet trip to London. Musk allegedly told the flight attendant on the flight in 2016 he would buy her a horse if she gave him an erotic massage. Business Insider reported Thursday the billionaire's company SpaceX paid $250,000 in 2018 to settle a sexual harassment claim from a flight attendant. A man from New Jersey's completed a walk around the world. Tom Turkic set off on a journey a day before his 26th birthday. He got home Saturday.
It's been 7 years of walking and 28,000 miles and then 38 countries.
Now, he says he's not the first person to make the trek, so he's not making history, but Savannah, a golden retriever he adopted as he passed through Texas, is the first dog to walk around the world. We'll get a look at your drive right after sports with Wayne.
It's the off-season for college football, but USC fans keep getting good news. After taking on quarterback Caleb Williams as a transfer student from Oklahoma, the Trojans have added All-American wide receiver Jordan Addison. He's in from Pitt. The Biletnikoff Award winner already has a close relationship with Williams, both of them originally from the Washington, D.C. area. The Dodgers return from a day off to open a road series against the Phillies. First pitch at 4:05 with Julio Urias tossing for L.A. Listen to every play live in HD on the iHeart app. Just search for AM 570 LA Sports in the app. And the Angels will try to shake off a 3-game skid when they host the Oakland A's at 6:38. Chase Silseth will start. I'm Wayne Resnick, KFI Sports.
Checking your KFI Financial Report brought to you by Sweet James Accident Attorneys. The Dow is down 176. S&P has lost 18, NASDAQ is down 62, and the average price of a gallon of regular unleaded gas in California is $6.06 a gallon. And for the lowest gas prices in your area, you can check out our website at KFIAM640.com, keyword gas.
If you're hurt in an accident, call the attorneys at Sweet James, 800-500-5200.
Socal Weather from KFI. We've got a partly cloudy day today and mostly sunny for the rest of the weekend, but cooler, as they're just going to be in the 60s and 70s. But then we'll start to warm up significantly Monday into Tuesday with highs back in the 80s and 90s. Right now, it is 58 in Malibu, 61 in Fullerton. Let's get a look at your drive with KFI in the sky. Jeff Boggs looking at now the 15.
Boy, the weather's affecting some of our drives now. Coming out of the high desert here, coming through the Cajon Pass. Not only is it foggy coming down the hill, but there was a problem at the scale. South 15 at the Cajon scales. It's near the 138. If it's one of your first mornings up there. So it's real tough coming down. Now, once you get down close to the 15-215 split, you'll be in pretty good shape. Now, the Moreno Valley, Riverside, boy, a whole lot better than it was yesterday morning, that's for sure. The North 215, West 60 merge, it's slow. It always is, so we get all done with that work around there, but after that, you'll be okay. Going to Calabasas, the Calabasas Encino run, the eastbound 101. At Calabasas, there's a lot of debris, is the calls we're getting in lanes, so be careful. But after that, slow from about Tampa to the 405. Pick up the southbound Hollywood Freeway, that's in pretty good shape this morning, really. A little slow south of Vermont. Even the South 5 now, coming down from the 134. Pretty good shape down to the 110. It gets a little slow there, not too bad at all. KFI in the sky helps get you there faster. I'm Jeff Baugh.
Hey all, it's Dean Sharp. Aldic Home has been the unrivaled master of lifelike silk flowers and home accessories for more than 60 years. But did you also know that Aldic carries the finest in outdoor patio furniture? It's summer classic, and it's so good, Aldic doesn't even want you to buy it. Just come down and take it for a test drive or test sit. Then go anywhere else and compare. Aldic knows you'll be back. Find Aldic on Sepulveda in Van Nuys and on the web at aldichome.com. That's A-L-D-I-K home.com.
If you have friends or family members that live on base or need frequent access to federal facilities, getting a real ID should be on your to-do list. Starting May 3rd, 2023, you'll need a federally accepted form of identification such as a real ID to access military bases, enter federal buildings, and board domestic flights. And by going online, you can conveniently start the Real ID application process anytime and anywhere you like. Don't miss out on visiting your friends and loved ones in uniform. Start your application online today. Visit realid.dmv.ca.gov.
The job market is competitive right now, so you need to be competitive to attract top talent. If you're trying to fill open positions in your business, iHeartMedia is here to help. Use radio and digital targeting to find fresh, passive candidates currently in the workforce. These candidates are listening right now, looking for new opportunities. Together, we can let the community know you're hiring. Visit iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
What's up, Striker? Johnny in from Hammer Toyota. Hey, man, I love the fact that we're doing these commercials together, and I also love the fact that all the listeners are coming in and getting 50 of those cars. And I'm the proof that you will get that great deal. I've been a customer for over 10 years. Hammer Toyota, out there with a 545 and 118. Yes, Toyota, we say yes. Hey, John, what did you say when you got that Ryan Seacrest weight from AI?
This is a mistake. Just run it. Please don't change your mind. Just go. Just do it.
The Ryan rate is waiting for you at AIsinsurance.com.
If you get hurt in an accident, choose the offer with the experience to win. Choose Kfi Am.
More stimulating talk.
Radio station.
Good morning, Bill Handel here on a Friday morning, May 20th, as we continue the program. And we got some news that we're sharing. You know, the guy who is accused of attacking comedian Dave Chappelle, we now find out has been charged with attempted murder for allegedly, I love the word allegedly, stabbing a roommate more than 5 months ago. So he's a piece of work, isn't he? It's time for Steve Gregory, which we do on a fairly regular basis. A couple things I want to share with Steve. Steve and I are going to share with you. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning, Bill.
Okay, Steve, of course, has Unsolved episode. Unsolved is a radio program that he does on Saturday. Yes. We're going to do that either at the end of this segment or the next segment. One of the things about Steve, which I've always found fascinating, is he is an at-large reporter. Mainly because...
Is that a fat joke?
It's about to be.
Another fat joke, thanks.
Yeah, as in not an anchor, basically goes out and finds stories on his own for the most part, and they happen to be stories, a lot of police blotter stories as of his connection. So let's talk about what you were working on.
Sure. Yeah, so on Wednesday, Thursday, Tuesday, Wednesday, now I'm all screwed up this week. I was invited by the United States Forest Service. They have a fire investigation team. And this is something that was very unprecedented for them because it's the first time they allowed a reporter to be embedded with their arson investigation group. And this is something fascinating because as many years as I've been covering wildfires, both Colorado, Arizona, and here in California, One of the things I've always wondered is how on earth does an arson investigator walk up to a 200,000-acre wildfire after it's been completely extinguished and say, okay, that's where it started, and this is how it started. I've never understood how they do that. So I had a very unique opportunity. I was invited to go to this school that takes place once a year, and it was out, there's this collection of government buildings near March Air Force Base in Riverside County. So I sat through on Tuesday through the theory. So I sat through all their classrooms, and I sat through and listened to about all the, ignition points and how they determine this and the science behind that, and it was just absolutely fascinating. And then on the second day, we went out into BLM land. It's actually a nature preserve, and burning it actually helps the... Now, this is Bureau of Land Management. Yeah, it's different. This is the original BLM.
I got it.
And so what they do is they go out and make instructors who are all around different parts of the state, national parks and whatnot. They light fires in these patches, and then they do different types of ignition, and then the students come out after lunch, and then they have to go over to these patches of where these burn areas are, and they have to go through finding the ignition point and the cause of the fire, the origin of, it's fascinating to watch. So I recorded the entire thing for 2 days straight, and it'll be part of a future Unsolved episode, and we're going to use it in news too. So, for instance, campfires. Something I didn't know about campfires. Do you know what a dust layer is?
It's some kind of a sexual position that...
Leave it to you. A dust layer is that, that's like on top of the ground. It's a compacted layer of like pine needles and leaves. And then every season, it just keeps compacting and compacting to where you have this very large, sometimes up to 12 inches of this dust layer. Now that's an actual source of traveling fire. I'm going to play for you now. Gonzo is this instructor that was, I was just riveted by all of his knowledge. And he's talking about campfires and how people screw up with campfires and don't properly extinguish them.
So what will happen with some of these campfires, it'll consume the firewood that they brought. They will believe to extinguish the campfire, but unbeknownst to them, that fire has also burned underground, and it's now burning that dust layer, and it'll travel for miles at times. And just like with water, it'll choose the path of least resistance, and unless it finds oxygen, it's going to self-extinguish itself. So at certain times, if there are pockets of oxygen, it's going to come up to breathe. And when we introduce oxygen to a red cherry, that's where the flame occurs.
The red cherry?
That's what we call it. If you look at a cigarette, the burning portion of the cigarette paper, red cherry.
Kind of like an ember of any kind?
Or of any kind.
So the takeaway right there is that the fire can travel underground for miles before it surfaces and then starts a fire somewhere else. And they have to figure out and go back to the point of origin, which could be a mile or two away.
And that is, as a matter of fact, I want to take a break and ask that question. Is you have a fire that is hundreds of thousands of acres or dozens of acres, and it spreads in all directions. How do they figure out where it starts?
I'll tell you, too.
All right, we'll pick that up when we come back. Here's Jennifer Jones-Lee, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
The Biden administration is approving the first flights for Operation Fly Formula. The first shipment of baby formula will come from Switzerland to Plainfield, Indiana. And activist groups want Senator Ted Cruz disbarred in his home state of Texas for helping former President Trump try and overturn the 2020 election. And the owner of a magic shop in Las Vegas is cashing in after dead bodies were recently found on the receding shorelines of Lake Mead. The owner of Blasphemy Boutique is selling something called Lake Mead Corpse Water. We'll get a look at your drive with KFI in the Sky in just a moment.
Getting a good night's sleep is absolutely critical because what happens the next day? If you have a bad night's sleep, it's a mess. And if that continues, it really becomes difficult. So let me suggest the Sleep Number bed that gives you that great sleep night after night. You can customize and adjust inside of the bed to your ideal firmness level, comfort level. That's your Sleep Number. Mine happens to be 100. I've had a bed for 14 years. Actually, 16 years or older or longer than. And I just like a firm mattress. So the Memorial Day sale is going on through June 6th. $1,000 off the Sleep Number 360 Special Edition Smart Bed. Queens only $19.99. Very high-end bed. Plus special financing, and that ends Monday, May 23rd. Subject to credit approval. Minimum monthly payments required. SleepNumber.com. Go to SleepNumber.com for details. 30 stores in Southern California. Visit SleepNumber.com.
From the Driveway.com Weather Center, we've got a partly cloudy day ahead with highs just in the 60s and 70s. This report is brought to you by Whole Foods Market. From the Southern California Toyota Dealers Traffic Center, let's go places like PCH.
You betcha. As a matter of fact, I want to give you a heads up about getting to PCH. Now, number one, if you're around Brentwood, West LA, Westwood, any of that, and you're headed to northbound PCH, going up to Pepperdine perhaps, you want to do it by accessing North PCH at Sunset Boulevard. The freeway, the westbound 10, the Santa Monica Freeway, that's South Clover Field now. It's impossible going through the tunnel, and that's just impossible. And I'm kind of thinking that's where the culprit is. And it could be the signal. It happens frequently, but I'll research this a little bit for you. Now, southbound, if you're coming, Point Doom, southbound Emily Chainway, from there all the way down to Santa Monica, down to Sunset Boulevard at least, it's in pretty good shape. And then it, too, southbound getting through Chautauqua is a little bit rough. Once you get on the Santa Monica Freeway, now eastbound, pretty good shape, a little slow Vermont down to the 110, so it's not too bad. And South Hollywood's kind of leveling off at about Sunset Boulevard to the 4 level. KFI in the sky helps get you there faster. I'm Jeff Barr.
Save on berries for your spring picnic. Enjoy 6 ounce organic strawberries for $3.79 through May 24th. Plus an extra 10% off for Prime members. Watch the 5 hours. Promo limit by location. See after details.
This report is sponsored by Discover. If you're a valued customer, you deserve a simple gesture of appreciation from your credit card company. And that's why Discover matches all of the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year. Discover. Exceptionally common sense. Learn more at discover.com/match. Limitations apply.
Stephen Smith here from Service Champions Plumbing, Heating, and Landscaping. Have you ever had a plumber to your house to fix something and they gave you an estimate? Is it a fair price? Is an estimate even for the right thing? I mean, really, how would you even know? Have you ever done only to find out later that it included everything? So you end up paying more than you thought? It's frustrating. And if you ask me, it's totally unacceptable. When you call Service Champions for a plumbing problem, I'll make you a promise. Our technician would diagnose the problem right the first time. And the estimate is going to be a final price you pay, period. No guessing, no surprises, no funny business. It's a guaranteed price up front in writing. So call Darren for any plumbing problem. Call Service Champions at 833-777-7777 or at servicechampions.com.
Memorial Day Chevy Driver Day is going on now at your Southern California Chevy dealer. The new models are arriving daily. Secure yours today, including Chevy Silverado, the #1 selling full-size pickup in California, back to back. During the Memorial Day Chevy Driver Day, very well-qualified buyers can get low 1.9% APR financing or big cash back on the new 2022. Over more toys with improved cabin design and luxurious comfort for the long haul. With exciting offers on the #1 selling full-size pickup in California, the legendary Chevy Silverado. Hurry to your Southern California Chevy dealer and visit SoCalChevy.com.
Based on S&P Global Mobile Working Retail registrations, plus finance with the Empire, and customers not qualified. For the retail delivery by 53122, call 844-5570 to dealer for details.
More stimulating talk. KFI Am supporting Bill Hingle here. It is a Friday morning, May 4th. And we'll talk in a moment about his unsold. I'll also answer the last question because we went to the answer before. And that is, you got a fire that has gone to thousands of acres, and it's spread all over. Right. Yeah. How do they know how it started?
Okay, and where did it started? So it doesn't matter if it's 1 acre or 100,000 acres. They approach the fires all the same way. Investigators will start on the outer perimeter of the fire and work in. What they do is they look at the burn pattern, spread pattern. They're looking